I'm so, so happy that you accepted the invitation to come and speak with me and be our first inaugural guest,
No pressure.
episode one. And this episode is entitled Meet Quench. And what better person to have than a 10-year employee? Someone's been here for over 10 years, and that's amazing. And I want you to introduce yourself and, speak about Quench.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Megan Backus. I have been here for 10 years. In that time, I've kind of touched um, most, if not all, aspects of our marketing. So typically I introduce myself as Megan from marketing. Um, and what I do currently, I have a tongue twister of a title. I'm a senior marketing manager. Um, Marcom and sales enablement, which really just means I make sure our sales reps have all the collateral they need when they're talking to prospects and customers. I also lend my team and I lend support for various other departments to make sure all of our customer facing people have what they need to tell the good story about Quench. Um, so that's me in a nutshell, and to talk a little bit about Quench. I mean, as everyone knows, we provide water coolers, ice machines, sparkling water coolers, and coffee to workplaces nationwide. But I think what an easier way of thinking about what Quench does is we offer water as a service for workplaces. So, keeping that in mind, we're really just providing peace of mind for those who have to provide water and water products to their employees and guests.
And that's a plus. I know when I first started working just in the water industry and being able to walk into the office and fill up my water jug and fill up get my hot tea, my hot water for my tea, because I'm a tea drinker in the morning. I love coffee too, but a good tea bag, and I'm a dipper. You know how they have these new cups that, you can go on and put. I like to dip mines,
Hmm.
dunk. So to have a water unit that gives you that hot water, and I'm an oatmeal person, so I get everything done at one little hit the button, or wave your hand. So that's pretty cool. So and again, I just want to let everyone know that working with Quench is a lifestyle, because water, coffee, and tea, and you can get all of that in one, and your ice. So there's so many things that contribute to health, your lifestyle. So those are some main, like you said, it's a service, and it also provides a service to us as employees, especially when we're in the office. So yes, I agree, we do provide an amazing service. And going into that, why did you join Quench? I say it's a lifestyle. What's your
Yeah. So
answer?
I joined Quench because they pay me now. So
Yay.
the mission of that Quench has of eliminating single use plastic for drinking water kind of mirrors my personal values of producing less waste, especially when it comes to single use plastic. So personally, I'm working to not have any single use plastic in my life. I think I'm down to some, beauty supplies, but even then, very limited. So that really spoke to me when I started working at Quench. And I think one of the reasons why I've stayed for 10 years is one that the company is always growing and changing, but also we've always kept that at the forefront of all of our growth and all of our change of that mission of advocating for workplaces to eliminate single use plastic. Um, whether it be the big giant 5-gallon jugs or the um, individual bottles, liter bottles or 12-ounce bottles. I don't even know at this point. Our ultimate goal is to advocate for a cleaner, more sustainable world through our little corner of water. Um, but water, as I say little, but everyone drinks it. So it's
It's
not really a
essential. Yeah.
niche for a specific industry. Any workplace needs water, so
Mhm.
why don't we make sure they have the cleanest, most sustainable option available to them?
I agree. And I know growing up, you used to see these water machines when you go to the doctor office with your like parents, or when you're in school, you'll see like water machines. I love our water units. I didn't think about it, how gross those water fountains were, or those big 5 gallon. Like, that's just so yucky. But we were, growing up, that's what you were used to. Like, oh, I want water. I want water. Like, you see it, you want it. But
Well,
now it makes you think, right?
even in that same regard, I think I was in, high school, and when like, the single bottles that everyone was carrying around became like a status symbol. Like, oh, I have this single bottle that I'm going to carry around,
Yeah.
the 16 ounces. Or, I went to a pretty academically challenging all girls high school, and people were carrying around liter sized bottles to show that they didn't have time in between classes.
Hmm.
um and I think, the world in the past 10 years especially has kind of shifted, where now instead of seeing people walking around with those bottles of water, everyone has a Stanley, those 40-ounce
Hmm.
Stanley bottles. And I think, those have now become the status symbol. And I think it just makes sense if more and more people are carrying around reusable drinking vessels, if you will, then it just makes sense to make sure that they have the greatest drinking water to fill up at. Being here for so long, I've kind of become a water snob, where if I'm not saying I don't drink tap water, but I can tell the difference between tap water and filtered water and
Exactly.
mineral infused filter water.
Hmm.
Things that I never thought I would say. I mean, I'm not one of those people who can tell the difference between Coke and Pepsi, but I get it. I can tell the difference between water. And I think, you know, as more and more people use, the Stanley 40 ouncers or the Yetis and the Hydro Flasks of the world, and each of those brands have, diehard fans. I think the next step is people are going to be more apt to start asking questions about what they're filling those with, and
Right.
making sure that it's clean water, and what minerals are in the water, or and all that sort of stuff that at Quench, it's, we think about it. Um, we don't really think about it. We have Quench Water Plus, which has, the electrolytes and the minerals. And um, I'm not one of these people, but there are people who will fill up gallon jugs
To take
of
home
Quench Water
and ship.
Plus to take home, because
Yeah.
they become so accustomed to drinking that water in the workplace that they want it at home too. So,
Yeah.
to your point, it is a lifestyle.
Hmm.
Um, and I think the longer that you work at Quench, more and more of it becomes part of your lifestyle.
I agree. And like you said, it's a staple to have like a cute cup. I know when I come into the office, I have my cute water cup, my cute coffee cup, but it depends on what's in those cups, right? So your water needs to be a status quo too. Like, okay, what water do you have in your cup? You're not just pouring that water out of a plastic bottle into that cup, because then that kind of defeats the purpose, right? Of
Yeah.
living that clean and healthy lifestyle. So we need to make our water, what's inside our cute bottles and cups, a lifestyle and a status too. So I definitely agree with that. And to your point about when you were in college, I remember like being in college, and I wanted, to get out of using bottles and stuff. One, because I was broke, right? I had a little part-time job. I was living on campus, but I still wanted to go and do fun things with my friends. But I found like little small bottles of stuff. Like when I go home, I would go, and my mom would have like the body wash and the shampoo, but I found these cute bottles, so I would fill them up. And my mom was like, why don't you just take the whole thing? And I'm like, no, it takes up too much space. My dorm room was small. I was sharing it with someone else, and I had this little cubby hole. I went to school when it wasn't all these fancy apartments, right?
Oh, don't even get me started on the new fancy
Had a
dorm
snuggle
rooms. And the
area.
no,
So
I had a caddy, and
that's what I'm
yeah, you had
saying.
to, keep, the space was limited,
Yes.
and with, with space being limited, and single-use plastic takes years, if not decades, to break down.
Right.
We're going to run out of space of where in the waste stream we can have these things. So it also just kind of, taking that thought of, I want to put it in these cute little bottles because I don't have space for the big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We also have to think of that in the same way when you think about the world as a whole. We're going to run out of space.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's always been, well, we'll send the trash into space. That's just moving the problem down the line, right?
That's it.
So,
That's it.
we need to think through how we can produce less waste, which is, one of my personal values of how can I produce less waste? And I gotta say the easiest way is getting rid of those single-use plastic bottles.
Get rid of them. Blow them up. Melt them
Done.
into something. Well, let's talk about how do all right, let's speak about our values and our missions of Quench. And how does that play into not just your role in marketing, but just your everyday life? How does those values and those missions play?
Yeah, so I think, Quench does a really good job of walking the walk that we talk.
Mhm.
So when I first started, we used to offer planting a tree for every referral we got from customers, to help, create more oxygen in the atmosphere. And that kind of came full circle when we celebrated a milestone, and I forget which milestone it was at this point. But with Culligan, our parent company, they actually purchased trees in individual employees' honor. So it was a
Oh
really cool
yeah,
moment.
I remember when I
Yeah, it
came
was a really
over.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a really cool moment where that kind of came full circle. Where not only were we trying to rid, you know, single-use plastic. We're also trying to do good by planting trees, and you can never have too many trees, especially now. So that, that comes to mind. We've, with Quench Cares, which is our employee-run, I guess you could say charity group. I don't really know. We do a lot of stuff out in the community. Um, that kind of stems from our various values, a lot of community outreach. And one of the ones that comes to mind is we cleaned up a watershed a couple years ago. And that was really cool because we all kind of got together and, picked up the trash, picked up the, partially degraded plastic, biodegradable plastic, I
Mhm.
guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was gross. But picking it up and, making a little area of the world a little nicer was really
Mhm.
nice. But, even, I'm sitting here in headquarters in King of Prussia outside Philadelphia, and we don't have, like, in our break room, we don't have plastic cups. We have recyclable paper cups and recyclable, I guess it's not really styrofoam. I don't know what the material is, but um we kind of walk that walk. We don't have those, those traditional cups that you see, plastic cups that you see. More and more people have those cute cups on their desk, and we even use less of, the cups that are provided. They're really for guests to the office,
Yeah, we have those too,
when
the forks and the
yeah,
knives here at our
exactly.
headquarters here too. And make a point to that on our portal, our customers can actually order those supplies along with their coffees and creamers on our Quench portal. So they can
Yes.
order those break room essentials. So not only do we walk the talk for our own offices, we also provide the option for our customers to go click that button and order it through the portal too. So like you said, we stand up to what we believe in, and we provide those same essentials to our customers so they can have the choice for their offices as well too. So yes, you are definitely correct, and I love those. I'm not going to tell a story. I wait till I get to the office so I can have that little sustainable bowl, because those are some good bowls. They hold
They
up in the
are.
microwave. They're
They're
good.
nice.
Yes, they are nice.
So
So being able to have those for office employees and team members, that's good. That's great. And especially other companies, they just want our water, but if they, log on into
we
our
got more.
portals.
We
Yeah,
have this,
yeah,
and to talk about the portal, it was a pipe dream years ago, but now
yeah.
that it's here, it's really pretty cool.
Hmm.
Besides ordering their break room supplies,
Yeah.
people can request service, check on their bills, check on their invoices, and it really enables our customers to do those sort of like office. I don't want to call them mundane because that's a judgment call I don't want to make, but those office chores on their own time. They're not beholden to,
Routine. That's a cool
yeah,
word now. It's a
there you go.
routine. There you go.
So they can, they can do that on their own time. They can do it on their phone. They can do it,
Hmm.
literally while they're walking around, excuse me, their break room. Oh, I
Hmm.
need this. I need this. Let me pull
Right.
this up. And, I'll order it right then and there and not have to write it down on a piece of paper, go back to their desk, remember it, not get distracted by, the million emails coming into their inbox. They can do
Hmm.
it right there when they need it, which is,
Yeah.
I think, is a really great feature that I think more of our customers should be using.
I agree. So I hope customers are listening and they're checking out the portal as they're listening to this podcast. Also, I want to know, what does Megan drink? What type of coffee? What type of tea? What is your water? You said water snob, and I agree. When I go into the restaurants, I taste my water first, and if they do have that option for sparkling or still or tap, I'm not gonna lie, I do choose sparkling, and I get me some lemons, and have me a nice sparkling lemon water. So, I will take my hat off to you and join the water snob club. But what is Megan drinking? What water? What's her
Yeah,
coffee?
so I am a huge fan of very cold water.
Me too.
So the colder the better, and because I am who I am, I don't like adding ice to my water.
Oh, okay.
So I actually, when I'm in the office, I like to get my water. There's my Philly accent. I like to get my water from the Q8 because to
Okay.
me, that has the coldest water. I am a tea drinker, and at that, I'm a herbal tea drinker.
Okay.
I guess you could say, allergic to caffeine. I can't have it.
We
So
don't really
currently,
need it.
that's for sure. Currently I'm drinking mint tea. I'm a big fan of mint tea in the morning. Um, and cold water. But I do love chewing ice, especially in that 3 o'clock slump when everyone else goes grabs another cup of coffee.
Hmm.
It is not unheard of for me to get some ice, some chewable ice, and kind of chew it, you know, and just have it there for an afternoon. I don't want to say pick me up, but um, that's that's when I have my chewable ice. Is around 3. Um,
Okay. See,
yeah,
that's your
but
routine. See.
cold water. I am a cold water drinker, and my fancy cup that my fancy mug that I carry around. I'm not gonna name names unless they want to sponsor me, but it keeps it cold really long, which is really helpful.
Well, I am definitely, I love my water has to be cold. I know a lot of people like just room temp, but I'm a cold person. Now I do like ice and everything. I'm an iced coffee person. Right now I am stuck on, don't scorn me, but I'm
No
pumpkin.
judge.
Pumpkin, yes, I am one of those pumpkin people, but I don't like pumpkin pie. I am a pumpkin.
Interesting.
I know. We went to a restaurant this weekend, and they was like, "Oh, pumpkin cheesecake. Would you like to try it?" I was like, "Yeah, let me try it." And it was not that good. I was so disappointed because I had my little pumpkin. We were out fall
Yeah.
shopping, Hobby Lobby, and things like that, and I
Wow,
was like,
that's
"Let me get a
crazy.
pumpkin." It was not that good. So, but I love a pumpkin latte ice. That's my
Hmm.
thing, and I get it with my Nespresso. And honestly, our customers can also grab if they want to do a pumpkin latte inside of the office, because we have that a part of some of our coffee options. So that's really great that they can they can duplicate that in the office as well too, because I do it. I make iced coffee in the office too, so
Yeah.
you know. So yes, I'm a cold water drinker. I have to have ice though, but I'm also an iced coffee drinker, and that's summer, spring, fall, and winter.
I mean, down in Texas, even in your winter, you still need that iced coffee.
Yes, but today it is a nice 54. So you
Wow, that's
know
a lovely little fall
it's
day.
been in the 50s and 60s the last few days, and we recently moved to more northern
Mhm.
outside of Dallas. It gets cold here because we're about 45 minutes from Oklahoma, so we're getting some of that good windy cool
Wow, there
weather.
you
Yes,
go. There
yes.
you go.
Well, I'm not going to take any more of your time. Thank you so much for joining us on our first episode, and you have given the people what they've been asking for. Who is Quench and what Quench is all about? And thank you so much. If you have any last words, please take it away.
Last words. No pressure. I think my last word would be to really remember that Quench does a lot between, and we've mentioned it. We have a wide variety of products. We have the customer portal. We have break room supplies. We're advocating for you to have the best water with our 5 filter setup. But I think it all kind of boils down to we're offering water as a service to give you peace of mind. And so, as Quench keeps that in mind, that's our goal for our customers. We can only go up from there.
I agree. Well, thank you so much and have a great one. And we'll talk soon.
All right. Talk soon. Thanks,
Bye.
Gwendolyn.
Bye.
Bye.